When I stumbled upon my sister and my partner tangled up in her outdated room, my mother whispered, "Avoid stirring up trouble," so I held back on the outburst. Instead, I orchestrated a $350,000 downfall for the family enterprise. Okay, Reddit folks, buckle up, because this saga is a complete disaster from start to finish. I'm 34 now, lounging in my fresh digs, half a year removed from the atomic blast that shattered my kin, and I've chosen this moment to unload it all. Some might claim I crossed a line. Others will probably insist I barely scratched the surface. Either way, here's the tale of how I methodically unraveled my relative's economic stability after uncovering that my sibling had been involved with my partner throughout our entire 4-year romance. Let me kick off with the household setup, since it's essential context for grasping my motivations. My little sister Chloe, 29, has forever been the favored child. Not in some subtle manner that leaves you second-guessing your suspicions. I'm referring to outright bias that would make a comedy scriptwriter chuckle and say, "Dial it back." That's too over the top. As a kid, I was the dependable type. Earned top marks without prodding, pitched in with chores, and held a side gig by 16. Typical eldest sibling routine. But Chloe played by a completely different set of guidelines. Flunk a few courses in school. She's just not stimulated adequately. Busted for stealing from stores, merely a temporary lapse. Females act that way. Wrecked dad's vehicle, mishaps occur. Coverage exists for that very reason. On the flip side, I got grounded for 2 weeks after arriving home late to aid a buddy with a stalled ride. The true gut punch is how this favoritism lingered into grown-up life. I busted my tail through university, earned a degree in finance, and landed a solid role as a monetary evaluator. Nothing extravagant, but I pulled in decent cash and climbed the ranks steadily. I snagged my own home at 27, cleared my auto loan, and built up real reserves. Chloe bilayed on higher ed after a single semester, cycled through flops in startups, and crashed in the parental basement till 26. Each botched venture was chalked up to poor luck or a mismatch with her ambitions. Every gig she ditched was blamed on bosses stifling her creative sparks. But this is where it ties into the core narrative. 3 years back, Dad tapped me to overhaul the accounting for his building outfit. He'd forged a sturdy operation over 3 decades, yet with fiscal oversight, he stuck to old-school vibes. All details crammed in his mind or scribbled on scraps, sans proper safeguards. I devoted 8 months crafting robust ledgers, whipping up task monitoring sheets, and forging tighter vendor bonds. I slashed his costs by roughly $95,000 in year 1 via streamlined processes alone. Did he express gratitude? A quick grip of hands and a murmur that kin pitch in like that. Fast forward 3 years, Dad eyes partial retirement and Chloe steps in as his heir apparent. Ignoring her zero background in erecting structures, overseeing timelines, or steering a venture, I'd been handling the fiscal side gratis all along. Yet Chloe snagged the formal role and salary, plus Dad deeded her half the ownership stake. When I pointed out I'd essentially moonlighted as unpaid CFO for 4 years, Dad shot back, "You've got your path. Chloe requires this boost more. Makes total sense, huh? Since that's prime strategy for handing down an empire. Pass it to whoever craves it hardest, ignoring who's actually equipped." Still, I swallowed it because I'm a total pushover, convinced blood ties trump all. Now onto my man. Fine, former partner Derek. We crossed paths at a barbecue 5 years prior via shared circles. He cracked me up, shared smarts, twalled as a teeth cleaner, and we meshed right away. A few months in, things deepened, so I looped him into the clan around week 12, likely the spark for the mess. Chloe unleashed her charisma without delay. Her forte is the bubbly, sharp-tongued crowd pleaser, while I'm the snooze-fest chatting ledgers and nest eggs. I remember her pulling me aside at that initial meal and quipping, "Girl, he's punching above your weight." "How'd you snag him?" I brushed it off, fool that I was. Over the ensuing 4 years, Derek wove deeper into the family fabric. He'd pop by weekly roasts, lend Mom a hand with festive setups, and tag along with my aunt for retail jaunts. I figured it was gold that my guy vibed with my crew. What could possibly sour? He and Chloe bonded tight. They linked up online. He'd guffaw louder at her quips, and she'd maneuver to pair off with him at gatherings. But I had faith in him, so I dismissed the vibes. My closest pal Tyler dropped a hint 8 months prior. We were posted at a pub catching the match when he slipped it in. Listen, not aiming to poke the bear, but Derek seemed off. Like withdrawn, I mulled it. He dialed back on intimacy, sparked rose over nonsense, and glued to his screen nonstop. But work had me swamped, so I pegged it as a slump. All couples hit snags. I assured Tyler, all good. He backed off but shot me that glance as if thinking warned you. The revelation hit 4 months ago in the cruelest fashion. I was over at the folks, sorting Dad's docs. Chloe ought to be at a worksite, Derek due for a late shift. I was in the den when faint sounds drifted from above. Figured Dad might be rummaging, so I headed up. That's when their murmurs hit, Derek's tone unmistakable, followed by Chloe's giggle. I lingered in the hall maybe half a minute, brain refusing to compute. Then fury ignited. Not the hot-headed burst, but the icy, precise variant that sharpens your edge like never before. I whipped out my cell and captured audio through the panel, nabbed about 3 minutes of damning proof. Then I descended, hopped in my ride, and peeled out. No showdown, no busting in. Just intel secured and vanished. That evening while he showered, I rifled Derek's machine. Yeah, prying, but survival kicked in. Instinct proved spot on. Unearthed chats stretching nearly 4 years, shadowing our full timeline. The exchanges were vile. Beyond the carnal bits, it was their jabs at me. She's lifeless between sheets. Does she ever switch it up? Your Sib's sweet, but robotic as hell. Chloe fired back worse. She won't catch on, too buried in her grind. Guilt hits sometimes, but he picks me clear. Truth is, the girl's got zero flair. The sequence sealed it. Initial ping landed 4 months post our start. They'd snuck around at kin bashes, my pad during my shifts, even my wheels once when Derek borrowed it overnight. I compiled it all, snaps, dates, and that fresh clip. Built an airtight dossier. Then cracked a brew and schemed. Derek tried for closeness next dawn. I claimed under the weather. He looked eased. I played it cool all week. Clocked in, returned, shared meals with him, vegged out. Nights blurred into blueprinting my countermoves. Step 1, lined up chats with 3 attorneys. Scoped my options legally, especially Dad's outfit and any fiscal knots. 2, archived every scrap I'd amassed for Dad's shop onto my private disk. 4 years worth of ledgers, vendor pacts, task trackers, client links, the works sustaining the flow. Then wiped the firm's reserves clean. Oopsie. 3, dialed up outreach. Recall those vendor links I nurtured, prime time to leverage. Told them I was bowing out and appreciated past dealings. Dropped that if gigs arose, I'd freelance fiscal guidance. A bunch noted they'd circle back. 4, crucially, pinged their top patron, a real estate outfit footing 45% of Dad's intake. Grant the head, and I had gelled over time. I decoded bids for him, broke down expenses, spotted snags saving him bucks. Alerted him I was exiting the kin venture and urged scrutinizing upcoming deals. Hinted the new hand lacked commercial build savvy. Grant appreciated it and vowed to weigh it. Then I bided for the perfect strike. It dropped the next Sunday post-feast. Full house, Mom, Dad, Chloe, Aunt, Uncle, Derek. I'd packed my notebook, claiming family pics from a work bash. Post-meal, Mom stacking dishes, I rose and declared I had an announcement. So update, Derek and I are done. Stun rippled, Derek blanched, Chloe fixated on her dish. Mom probed fast. Oh dear, what's the issue? You appeared solid. That's the twist, I noted, firing up the screen. We looked content because I was clueless Derek had been hooking up with my sister across 4 years. Silence crashed like thunder, then pandemonium. Mom inhaled sharp, Dad barked for details, Aunt eyed Chloe and Derek in disbelief. I cued the captures and pivoted the device. Here's 4 years worth of texts. This clip from last week, catching them in Chloe's nostalgia nook. And a timeline proving romps at nearly every kin event since month 3 of us. Derek crumbled into sobs on cue, not remorseful tears, but busted variety wails. Big gap there, Chloe. She aimed for poise. Sis, hold up, she started. I shut her down. Zip it, Chloe. Mom, as expected, launched mediation. Everyone breathed, discuss rationally. Rage fixes zilch. I'm steady, I countered. Had a week to digest. No faking it vanished. Dad finally weighed in. Lauren, this is grave. Chloe, what in blazes were you pondering? Chloe lifted her shoulders, actually. Dunno, pops. Stuff like this pops up now and then. Stuff like this pops up? That's when my core iced over absolute. You know what? Spot on, events unfold. On that note, heads up, I'm out of the firm now, no gratis fiscal tweaks, no ledgers, no vendor bridges, you pair sorted. Dad's glare shifted from ire to worry. Wait, don't mix biz with heart stuff. Heart stuff? I pressed. Dad, your prized kid bedded my man in your digs for 4 years. That's no heart hiccup. That's raw disrespect I won't stomach anymore. Derek launched into spin, how it snowballed, no intent to wound, yada yada. I halted him. Done yapping. Clear your junk from my spot by tomorrow, dusk or curbside it goes. Swiveled to Chloe. And you? Hope he measured up. Cause you're in for a view of that shop sans my scaffolding. Mom kicked off her truce routine. No rash words will rue, blood's eternal. I get the heat, but... Mom, halting you, I interjected. You've excused Chloe lifelong. Every flop, slip, self-serving move, she's wired that way sans pushback. So now no truce chase, no more sightings. I snapped the lid and bolted. No glance back, no reply slots. Just out into the whip to Tyler's pad, spilling the load. His take, at last you sprouted backbone. Monday dawned. I hit Dad's spot pre-dawn, boxed my bits, scrubbed my system logins, dropped keys desk side. Then fired an email to Dad and Chloe. Formal exit from all roles, paid or not. Fiscal docs, task files, vendor deals archived on-site. Access deets with it. Mines revoked across boards, best on future plays. No outreach sans legal buffer, copied to my inbox and those council meets. Trail locked. Derek showed that Eve wrecked begging dialogue. Locks swapped at morn, so barred. He loitered portal side 25 ticks air split. Post that barrages flew. Mom, rethink, we mend as unit. Dad, biz chat needed beyond feels. Chloe, sis really ditching kin over this. Stuff unfolds. Can't we move on? That ping reignited my veins. Stuff unfolds. Forwarded to Mom with, behold your nurture job. Well played. Her comeback, youthful slip-up. No grudge fests wrecking vibes. We're unit. Skip the uproar. That flipped me from fade-out to full torch. See, initial blueprint was ghosting and thriving solo. Therapy mend, snag a loyal nonce-cum. But Mom's missive locked in resolve. They viewed the betrayal as no biggie, just my overkill, so I gifted a legit crisis. Those vendor threads activate phase. First, timber folks, over 55% of home build stock. I'd bonded with owner Paul, who dug my swift clears and error catches pre-blow-up. Yo Paul, quick note I rang, bilate on the outfit. Sib's helming funds now with fresh payment vibes. He paused. Fresh how? Recall net 30 clockwork. Yeah, no vouch on continuity, just flagging. He owed thanks. Week later, Dad's tab flipped to cash at drop. No more bridging gaps cross gigs, mirrored outreach to other majors. No direct slams, just no longer fiscal gatekeeper, no future payout certs. Most cinch terms pronto. Then Grant, that 45% revenue anchor. Lunched him, spilled the saga. He cringed in solidarity, noted prior heads up. Your Sib tossed Oak Street quote he shared. 35% under norm cause margin blind spots. Think she'll offset elsewhere, but nah. Mid-build either skimps quality or hikes asks. Grant mulled, your quote, I crunched Matt's crew fair cut, pegged 30% over her lowball, viable still. Aligns better, he said. Here's the play, nix your pop's offer. If you launch advisory shop, ping me. Prefer pros who get it. That feed sparked growth. Next week, Dad and Chloe sense squeeze. Dad rang direct, dodging guilt chain. Vendor snag chat, he pressed, firm but frayed, shifting terms. You looped in, beats me, Dad, out of the loop recall. Those bonds, years of trust, pro-polish, maybe adapting to fresh helm, long beat. Oak Street tanked too. Grant called bid pie and sky. Bummer, you lunched him right. Private civvy meal with ex-patron. Legal snag, click, Mom's pings ramped, vindictive streak. Hitting whole crew, why no release, they owned it. But hollow, no owning the foul. Just regret your ire, mishap, regret, onward march. So I pressed, filed my advisory LLC. 2 weeks for paperwork, basic site. Then tapped circle builders, overseers, dev heads for fiscal tips, quote crafts, vendor haggles, ledgers, flow fixes, needs-based. Month in 4 gigs, 2 months outpaced old wage. Tendered analyst notice, dove full advisory. Prime kicker, 3 patrons ex-subs for Dad's shop. No poach, just fiscal needs met. But Dad gigs rerouted to rivals with tight figs. Dad's ops started leaking. Subtle, persistent bleed. Lowball bids paper profitable but red ink real. Matt hikes from skipped freight scraps. Crew overruns cause wishful timelines ain't mortar. 4 months post-bail, Dad rang anew. Aid required, no fluff, shop sinking. Tough break, I said. Skip the suitslay act, Lauren. Vendor deals soured, bids slipping. Steady subs bilate half, markets brutal, I noted. Consultant hunt, heard aces out there, he huffed like gut shot. Quit the charade, it's dire, this Chloe Derek fallout. Your call, no uproar. Not uproar, Dad, commerce, bust means Mom and I forfeit all. Pad nest egg works that stalled me, not pity, but scope. All how house pledged on biz loans, expansion debt. Flow fix once, choke now, depth, I probed. 350K give or take. Christ, not 4-month pile, lost streak length? Quiet, yearish, he admitted, Chloe swore grip. Naturally, her draw all along, partner perks pay. How's that panning? My terms I laid. I'll advise your op. $250 hourly, min 25 weekly, bill every other. On drop. I'll probe books, craft sane spend, haggle vendors where doable. Caveat 1, Chloe barred from fiscal calls. 2, major moves vet me first. 3, zero kin drama, pure biz, harsh shift, you did gratis once. Did heaps pre your kids 4-year home romp while y'all blinked. Costs climb, sign or pass, he signed, needs a fierce ink. Monday, I rolled in with shark smile packed. Beyond fee baked in call power, full dock dive, 2 week out if ignored, then probed deep, uglier than guessed. Chloe hadn't flubbed, she'd ravaged sloppy. $55K unbilled closes cause no dispatch. $35K duped vendor hits from unchecked clicks. 3 mega gigs lowballed to sure sinks. Her corp card, dinners, her ride fuel, Vegas jaunt. Payroll levies botched 7 months, hobby fines stacking. Logged all, shipped dad sleek recap with tag, behold nepotism's yield over skill pick. Then fixes list, strip Chloe's fiscal reins, auto-recurring outflows, IRS haggle. 12K slap beats doom, halt fresh starts till closes build. Dad slices draw 7 months for rebuild, Axie's card, claws back her perks. Dad greenlit all bar full Chloe boot. Still kin, he said, earns spot. Okay, I tweaked. Keeps title 35% / zilch on funds, client chats, quotes. Project overseer powerless. Chloe clocked it, rang fuming, voice quake rage. You're gutting me. Now, I said, capping the wreck. Now paid to mop your slop. Always envied me, she spat. I chuckled. Envy what? Your blast radius. Your knack for flunking all self-sabotage queen? Sure, green with it. Next week's I nailed the mandate. Exact scope. No extras, haggled vendor vibes, less sweet but off cash now cliff. Nabbed loose bills, rigged foolproof ledgers, even dad navigates. Ops steadied. No boom, but leak sealed. Ops viable, retirement? Nah, 6 months on mom rang first since blast. Your pops is drained, she said. 66 grinding 60-hour hauls end it. Agreed, I said. Sell off, bow out. Legacy, she countered. Then pre-Chloe handoff rethink. What ask, mom? I pressed. Return, steer right, Grace's exit, toll, wipe Chloe's 4-year betrayal, act you missed it. First line, skip uproar. We missed, she swore. Right, I said. Derek Sunday fixture, Chloe 2, platonic pals, you spied what fit cause easy, zilch rebut. Plans this, I stated, finish contract, 5 months left, I'll prime for flip. Dad exits, trim if needed. Chloe charts solo. Post that done, no feasts, no fests, no charade, cruel tag, nah, truth drop, clicked off, honored it, 5 months tuning. Amp protocols, scripted every step, stacked win portfolio, soft pinged pros for suitors, landed one. Regional mid-tier builder expanding. Wowed by my rebuild sheen, doc clarity, post-turb chaos polish. Tossed $850K. Debts cleared, dad Chloe split $450K. Smart play. Modest flat chill days, no Euro sunsets. Deal sealed 2 months back. I showed for ink as advisor, not kin. Grip new crew past docs out the portal. Dad trailed to lot, tone low, worn. Lauren outcome skewed from hopes. Per your blueprint, I said, favored Chloe over chops. Peace over reckoning, reap what's sown, he dropped gaze, kin still. DNA, I said, beyond, null, over, wheeled off, no rear view. That spin felt like unchained dawn. Lifelong fixer, pacifier, mess mopper. First, I quit patching, quit. Epilogue, solid, thriving even, advisory op booms. Triple old analyst haul, half the grind, client picks mine. No manipulations, no exploits, kin free. Turns out clear head out-earns any bump. And yep, fresh spark, Ethan's his tag. Overseer at client site, sharp, rooted, quiet strength sans show. Spilled the saga, warts and all, no pity play. No jabs, just eyed me, said you'd out-nice my moves. We're easing in. No blitz, no histrionics, no vapor vows. He gets the scars, skips the fix, just ears on. Some men's crave a gaze that holds steady at the marks. Tyler, ride or die, drops occasional scoops. Still chats kin adjacent. Pops and mom offloaded pad for compact. Float Chloe's lease so stash shrinks swift. Predictable. Ditch Kush gig sans chops, restarts no cakewalk. She's gig hopping bi-weekly, hyping fresh ventures, convinced Cosmos owes redo. Derek pinged months back. Epic woe text, therapy grind, owns the fouls, craves true amends. Scanned, blanked, trashed, Chloe 2. Hope joy's yours, nuked kin biz for payback. Shot back. Nah, salvaged your botch leavings, banked dad exit pad, bounced. You frame my no sacrifice as spite, says it all on you. No more pings, she ghosted. Folks probe if nuke regrets hit, earth scorch call, total cut. Real talk. 0, Rue trusting the unearned. Rue pegging blood as blank check bail. But detach sees reigns, let betrayers eat their fallout. Pure win. Mom's final missive, monthish back. Blood forgives. Mine, blood skips the screws first off. Try with kid 2, blocked her, final cutoff. So yeah, Reddit, my yarn, Sib bedded my man. Crew hushed the stir, so I leaned on strengths. I crunched, executed, emerged wealthier, steadier, unbound. Mourns now. Brew balcony crack, inhale, peace hits when drains unplug. Biz hums sans burnout, client tower picks, no incompetence watch, dig the craft true. Ethan the spark, crafts quiet as haven, not hollow. No haste, no need. Hurricane weathered, crave glow, not blasts. I revisit that feast hush pre-storm, mom's sharp breath, dad's roar, Chloe's lock, my no farewell bolt. Then world crack vibe, but nah, clear out. They claim payback fixes not. Fair. But calm cures all. Cause wreck ain't peak payback, it's ironclad self. And that's my new skin. These days, they fade from thoughts, not grudge, just irrelevance. Lingering links via Chloe say she's retooling. Posts inspo bites on Bloom, Grace, Rich sans her owns. Mom hearts all natch, dad, offline, guilt mutes, I guess me. Prime, beyond. Once pegged calm as grind earned, toil mute, pardon swift, it'd land. But calm's no gift, it's grabbed. Self-pick, even if selfish labeled. Eve recent, Ethan and me balcony perched, Vino halves, urban glow wink, he mused. Revert ever, not them, but old you echo. Laughed, the loyalty as laid on gal. Nah, vanished, he quirked, dipped head. Solid, she merited upgrade, no epics, no oaths, just quiet sink, my long miss all along. No fanfare, just ease. Shrink once noted, mend skips bridge mends. It's spotting some souls ain't rivercross mates, mulls that heap, spot on my arc. No torches tossed, fresh spans to better shores. FB flashbacks nag, kin meets, B-days, stiff grins. Pinch hits, then recall the veil, bias, sly pulls, auto-assume I'd mop. App shuts, deep pull, back to my build. Ethan and me plot 26 escape. Low-key, shore, peaks, far from old aches. He ribs I'll email from sands. Likely spot on, habits linger. But now my grind, my wins, my ease. Wonder if Chloe stirs nights mulling lost lore, not me but her untouched tale, slips swept. Does she? Dunno, ain't my load no more, life's crisp first time. No fog, no philos, pure poise. If X-Circle spots self in these strokes, my line, you cracked none. You loosed me. So that's the kin loss, freedom find, proof clean paybacks, no wreck but rise. Cause ease wealth's untakeable and I'm loaded at last. 14 months post-feast finale. Lighter than ever. Digs once echelon, now nest true. City night drone, mug-clack dawn, micro cues I'm crafting solo. No guilt, no whirl, no dodging fools fallout. Ethan's steady anchor. Patience once suspect, bracing for hook, stab, mask slip, but steady holds. Worth prover sans drags, asks pre-reach, here's full. Delivers, ease pace suits. No clocks, no crush, no fronts. Oft we tandem quiet, me keys him drafts, hushes shield. Ops scaled. Revenge seed sprouted legit force. Now mini-team, duo number crunchers, ledger whiz halftime aid. They kid I helm like fleet chief. Apt, but content fat checks ace output. Weeks back, grant mail dropped ex-dad dev. Big bid invite, trusts none else on figs. That ping sparked laugh, not smug, but lift. Every tough call, line drawn, proved gold. No bridges ash, just quit the dead ends. Chloe scuttle, part gig design den, tweet rebirth, self-hunt mode. Pop's mom flipped compact for fresh downsize, shifted it.